We're the Huge Movie Fanatics, and we're continuing our X-Men review series as X3, or this one was just called X-Men Last Stand. It was the third X-Men movie.
Well, there was like 3 Wolverine claws, wasn't there? Like,
yeah.
Ching.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, man, this was the biggest disappointment of the summer of 2006.
Who ended up doing it?
Brett Ratner.
Who's that?
He's an asshole. He made the Rush Hour movies, the first of which I kind of like.
Oh man.
The other 2 of which are really bad. He's done a lot of terrible movies and one insanely good movie, which was Red Dragon, the prequel to...
Yeah, that's not bad.
Which was great. I really liked it. Much better than Hannibal was, at the very least, or Hannibal Rising. Perhaps we'll do those movies.
That could be a good October.
There we go.
Write it down or remind us.
Yes. So anyway, Brett Ratner did this, and perhaps the movie should have been not done by him, because his vision for what this movie should be is like, let's just put every mutant that you've ever heard of in this movie ever, and then let's have them fight. Yeah, and literally it's like, it's for 5 seconds they're fighting. The one great thing that happened in this movie that I appreciate is Kelsey Grammer as Beast. He was great. Like, I liked him as Beast. I liked the look of Beast in this movie much more so than in First Class.
Oh wow, something actually about this that you like more than...
Yes, very much so. He was fantastic.
It's something that you can admit that.
Yeah, yes, and
to the world.
Beast is also one of my favorite characters, and I thought they characterized him pretty well. That said, this movie just fucks with every other character. It's like, I have no idea what to do with Cyclops. Let's just kill him. Let's just, yeah, like he finds Jean Grey. He goes to the place where Jean Grey died, and he starts screaming, and I think he even pulls off his sunglasses, and he just creates like this supersonic burst, and then all of a sudden, the water where she died starts rippling, and then she arises, and he's like, Jean, you're all right, even though your hair is a different color and way longer than when you died. And then she goes in, and he's like, no, she's like, no, you can see, and then he takes off his glasses, and they stop turning red, like, because she's controlling it, and she stops him, somehow cures him of his power, kisses him, and then he evaporates. And it's like, okay, then that's the last you are given about Cyclops. The end, he is turned into a worthless character for this franchise, which is so disappointing because he is such a great character. And so powerful, too. Like, his character, he has the power of the sun in his eyes. Yes. So anyway, yeah, it's remarkable how bad they did with him. But then they go so far as to like, well, we don't know what to do with these other characters. Let's just cure some of them for no reason. Like Rogue, let's just cure Rogue and not lead up to it at all. Just because we would rather have Iceman dating Kitty Pryde rather than Iceman dating Rogue, which we've already established in 2 movies. And it's like, it seemed to come out of nowhere. It didn't feel appreciated in the movie, and it just kind of flunked. And then, well, we don't know what to do with Xavier. Why isn't he stopping a lot of this? Well, let's just kill him too. And so Phoenix raises him out of his chair and evaporates him as he looks to the camera and kind of smiles. Camera being Wolverine's point of view.
Oh, really?
And then Wolverine is like, no! Because that's all he ever does in those movies is scream. And yeah, and then Magneto, we don't know what to do with it. Let's just cure him too. And so...
No way.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I don't remember all this curing.
And let's just cure Mystique while we're at it as well. So
how many people do they cure?
They cure Rogue, Mystique, and what's his name, Magneto. But the little twist, the ending scene that you get to see is Magneto's like trying to move a chess piece, and suddenly it just kind of wobbles, and then boom, da-da-dum, and then it went to the
that ending.
And I was just like, so it wasn't a cure. You wasted my time for 2 hours. Actually, this is I think the shortest of the X-Men movies. My point here is that they had no idea what to do with any of these characters, so they just did stuff to do stuff without making you care about what they did. I mean, they made you care if you're a franchise fan or something like that, but they didn't make you care in the way that you should care. It wasn't an earn. Nothing felt earned about this. The action was actually kind of cool. I mean, they have Wolverine fighting Juggernaut and stuff like that, and the X-Men teaming up to fight to fight the evil mutants at the end was kind of cool, and then there's like great showpieces where they lift up the Golden Gate Bridge.
That's what, yeah.
And like there's some nice set pieces, the action's kind of cool, but the story dropped. You either do the Mutant Cure story or you do the Dark Phoenix story. And if you do the Dark Phoenix story, don't follow Wolverine, who's just a character on the periphery who happens to be in love with Jean Grey. How much more like gut-wrenching is it when it's her husband that would have to kill her? That is more brutal to me than a dude who's met her twice and has a crush. Like, seriously? He met her for like 1 week, then he goes on a vacation to try and find himself, can't figure that out, comes back in the second movie, hangs out with her for a week, and then she dies. And then she comes back.
The love of his life.
Yeah, the love of his life. It's just like, come on, use Cyclops there. Cyclops would have been so much more... Like, it would have been great if Wolverine was trying to stop Cyclops, because Wolverine had this love for her. Or reverse it. Cyclops is trying to stop Wolverine, even though Wolverine knows it's right to kill her. You could do something with that, but they don't. They just have Wolverine walk up against her and she starts evaporating his skin, but because he can't die, it's not working,
yeah.
so then he kills the most powerful mutant in the world by stabbing her in the stomach. I don't know, it's just kind of lame. And the Mutant Cure storyline is such a fascinating one. It says a lot about society, like anytime there's an imperfection, oh, fuck it, let's just cure it. We can find a cure, we can make things perfect. That's how we're going to change society. And that was one of the best comic book storylines. That was actually written by Joss Whedon. It was so good, so smart, so involving. And then they used it, and when I heard they were doing that for this movie, I'm like, oh, this movie is going to be so powerful. And they did it, but they only did it as a tool to make it so that the characters that were important before aren't in the movie anymore. And that's not how you should do it. You should do it in a powerful way. Like in the comic books, in his story arc, Cyclops actually opts to do it because he can't handle it anymore, yet he is still the leader of the X-Men even though he's a regular human being. And it was kind of an interesting thing that they did there. But yeah, this was just really bogus. I'd give it one star.
One star?
1 star.
I don't remember anything. I remember not hating it. I remember thinking of it more like a 2-star. I think that, like you said, the set pieces, for me, I'm pretty much giving 2 stars for set pieces. I don't hate it as much as you do, but I'm also not a comic book fan, so I can't be as picky on those grounds as knowing all the characters. So for me, it's just an average summer 2-star movie with some cool set pieces.
It has the stupidest line ever, which was an internet line, and people wanted it to happen, so it ended up getting in the movie, which was when the Juggernaut shows up to fight Kitty Pryde. He goes, "I'm the Juggernaut, bitch!" And
so fans on the web wanted.
Yeah, they got it. They got what they wanted. It was pretty much the same thing of like the Snakes on a Plane line, where Sam Jackson being like, "There are motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane," or whatever that line was.
I didn't know.
That wasn't in the movie until it was like all over the internet that Sam Jackson was starring in this movie called Snakes on a Plane, and people wrote that all over the place as their headline, and then they threw it in the movie and in the trailer and all that stuff.
Wait, it can't be in the trailer.
They like, "Where are the mother?" And then they just cut and then cut back to him, and then snakes on that mother, and then plane, and then it would be like snakes on a plane.
Okay, gotcha. Well, sorry folks. I don't know if I should call this Matt's reviews or not, but I mean, not really, because I'm giving it stars.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're just not. These movies didn't stick with you.
Yeah, I guess that's it.
It's sort of like my review for a lot of some of the Friday the 13th. Yeah. And I think a couple of the Halloween ones as well, where I'm I remember giving it 1.5.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, I haven't seen these very much.
Exactly.
That's all there is to it. All right, I'm gonna go 2 stars just because it was, average whatever blockbuster. Summer action stuff. There you go. Cool action stuff. Eye candy. Are you done?
Yep.
Thanks for watching.